Let me tell you something quietly powerful about the digital world we live in. Everywhere you look, people are sharing pieces of their lives. Smiles, tears, coffee moments, vacations, even heartbreaks turned into aesthetics. We've built a culture where visibility feels like proof of existence. But somewhere in that endless scroll, there are people who remain silent. They don't post. They don't announce. They just observe. You might know someone like that, or maybe you are someone like that. And the question people often whisper is simple. Why? Why would anyone choose to stay unseen when attention is the new currency? It's easy to assume they're shy or antisocial, but that's not really the truth. Beneath that silence lies an entire psychology, one that speaks volumes about control, independence, and the quiet resistance against a world obsessed with showing off. You see, for some people, silence isn't emptiness. It's power. It's the ability to decide what the world doesn't get to see. Because whether we realize it or not, social media has rewired how we measure worth. It rewards noise. It praises visibility. And yet those who stay quiet often understand reality more clearly than the ones shouting the loudest. They see without performing. They feel without posting. They live without translating every moment into a caption. Psychology tells us that people who rarely post often score higher in self-restraint, emotional independence, and introspection. They're not chasing validation. They're searching for understanding. In a world addicted to attention, they crave authenticity. They want to feel life instead of framing it. Because let's be honest, social media isn't just about connection anymore. It's about identity construction. Every post, every story, every photo says, "This is who I am. Please approve." We've turned self-expression into an endless audition for belonging. But when someone steps away from that stage, something profound happens. They stop thinking in captions. They start experiencing moments for themselves again. They begin to live life without needing an audience to confirm it's real. This silence isn't rejection of technology. It's rebellion against performance. It's choosing to keep something sacred in a world where everything is content. Psychologists call it psychological ownership. That feeling that a thought, a memory, a moment belongs deeply to you. When you post it, that ownership fades a little. It becomes public property, open to judgment, likes, or ridicule. So those who stay quiet aren't detached. They're protecting what's theirs. Their peace, their memories, their truth, and maybe that's not sadness. Maybe that's freedom. Because think about it. When was the last time you experienced something beautiful and didn't feel the urge to share it? When was the last time you laughed without thinking of recording it? That impulse to broadcast isn't natural. It's trained. It's dopamine in design. Every like, every comment triggers a reward loop in your brain, teaching you that visibility equals value. Breaking free from that isn't easy. It takes strength to resist what's built to keep you hooked. People who don't post aren't disconnected, they're disciplined. They've stepped outside the loop. Many of them have something psychologists call an internal locus of control, meaning their happiness and worth come from within, not from external applause. They don't need hearts or numbers to validate their existence. And studies show that when people take long breaks from social media or stop posting altogether, their emotional stability actually improves, their self-image solidifies, their mind quiets. They stop editing their lives for approval and start accepting them as they are, imperfect, unfiltered, real. But not everyone's silence comes from peace. For some, it's exhaustion, the quiet that follows emotional burnout. Maybe they once posted everything, every trip, every smile, until one day it stopped feeling real. They realized that every time they shared something beautiful, they felt pressure to outdo themselves. Their lives became performances instead of experiences. So they stopped. No announcement, no grand exit, just quiet withdrawal, the kind that says, "I need to feel alive again, not just appear alive." And that's often misunderstood. People assume silence means detachment, but sometimes it means depth. Those who don't post aren't numb, they're overflowing. They just choose stillness over spectacle. They crave connection that doesn't need proof. Real relationships, not digital check-ins. They value the friend who calls instead of comments, the person who remembers them without reminders. That kind of connection feels heavier, warmer, more human. It's not visible, but it's real. There's something beautifully paradoxical here. Social media was designed to connect us, yet it often makes us feel more alone. When you stop posting, you stop chasing visibility and start rediscovering intimacy. You notice who truly cares, who reaches out, who stays, and without needing an update. That's when silence starts to feel like clarity, not absence. Some people step away out of fear of judgment, rejection, misunderstanding. Psychologists call it self-presentational pressure, that constant awareness that you're being watched even when you're not. It's exhausting to live under that invisible spotlight, so they retreat, not because they don't want to connect, but because the cost of being visible feels too high. They want to be seen, but truthfully, not performatively. And ironically, those who speak the least online often think the most deeply offline. They're not absent. They're processing. They're not cold. They're protecting their warmth. In a culture that screams, "Look at me," choosing invisibility becomes a quiet form of defiance. It's saying, "Oh, I exist beyond your perception." These people understand something rare. Not everything meaningful needs to be witnessed. Some growth, some grief, some transformation happens best in private. And when you've lived through those quiet evolutions, you realize being unseen isn't insignificance, it's authenticity. Because here's the truth, visibility doesn't equal value. Some of the most meaningful moments of your life will happen without a camera, without an audience. No one will clap, no one will double tap, and that's okay. Because meaning doesn't need witnesses. When you stop posting, you start reconnecting with the real world. You start hearing your own thoughts again, feeling your emotions without filters. Privacy becomes intimacy with yourself. Silence becomes self-respect. There's something profound about people who can live quietly in a world addicted to noise. They've found peace in the spaces most of us overlook. They don't need to announce every achievement or share every meal to feel alive. Their lives are full, even when their feeds are empty. And maybe that's what true confidence looks like. Not declaring who you are online, but knowing who you are offline. Some people say, if you didn't post it, did it even happen? But maybe the things that shape you most aren't meant to be posted. Your heartbreaks, your growth, your late-night thoughts, and they're not content. They're life. And they don't need an audience to be real. When psychologists talk about authenticity, they use the word congruence, alignment between who you are inside and what you show outside. Social media distorts that. It turns self-expression into self-editing. But those who stay silent preserve that alignment. They stay true to themselves, not their followers. Their silence isn't emptiness. It's depth. It's awareness. It's the calm confidence of someone who doesn't need to prove their worth. They're not waiting to be seen, they're busy living. And that's something the rest of us can learn from. Maybe being unseen isn't a flaw. Maybe it's freedom. Because when you no longer need to broadcast every moment, you start living every moment. You stop curating and start existing. So the next time you notice someone who never posts, don't assume they're hiding. Maybe they've just found peace in the quiet corners of life. The ones untouched by screens and algorithms. Maybe they're the ones who've remembered what we all keep forgetting, that being quiet doesn't mean being empty. It means being whole. That not sharing everything doesn't make life smaller. It makes it more real. In a world built on performances, maybe silence is the last authentic act. Because at the end of the day, we're not meant to be content. We're meant to be human. And sometimes the loudest statement you can make is simply saying nothing at all.